As Keanu Reeves walked away with Robert, Elena stood frozen in place, watching them disappear into the luxurious car. Regret twisted in her chest. She had been too quick to judge, too blinded by materialism to see what truly mattered. This is a fascinating story told about Keanu Reeves very realistically, from his daily life. Please listen. If you find it interesting, you can share it with everyone to listen and support us by liking and subscribing to the channel. It was a quiet evening when Keanu Reeves' black 1969 Mustang Mach-1 rumbled to an unexpected halt on a desolate road just outside a small, picturesque town. He sighed, stepping out and stretching his arms before inspecting the engine. "Damn," he muttered, "not now." A few passers-by spared him a glance, but no one approached, except for one. A young woman with striking features and a cold, distant expression crossed the street toward him. She was tall, elegantly dressed in a tailored blazer and heels, her long brown hair cascading over her shoulders. "Need help?" she asked, arms crossed. Her voice carried an air of mild curiosity, though skepticism laced her tone. Keanu turned to her with a warm, appreciative smile. "Yeah, looks like my car broke down. I could use a good mechanic around here. Any recommendations?" She tilted her head, scrutinizing him. "You don't look like you belong here. Are you just passing through?" "You could say that," Keanu chuckled lightly, wiping his hands on his jeans. "I was on my way to visit an old friend when my car decided it needed a break." She pursed her lips, then gestured down the street. "There's a small auto shop about 5 blocks from here. You'll have to push it or wait until morning when they open." He nodded. "Thanks. Name's Keanu, by the way. And you are?" "Elena," she replied, but made no move to shake his hand. "So, what do you do?" Her gaze swept over his casual outfit, a plain black t-shirt, well-worn jeans, and scuffed boots. "You don't exactly look like a businessman." Keanu smiled, unfazed. "I'm an actor, but I don't worry too much about material things. I like to keep life simple." Elena raised an eyebrow, unimpressed. "You don't care about money?" Her tone turned incredulous, almost disdainful. "That's not very practical. Men need ambition, success, status. Otherwise, what's the point?" Keanu merely chuckled, shaking his head. "I guess it depends on how you define success. I prefer experiences, relationships, and peace over wealth." Elena scoffed, flipping her hair over her shoulder. "That sounds like something only someone without ambition would say. If you're not striving for the best, what are you even doing with your life?" Keanu's smile faded just a little, but he didn't respond with anger. Instead, he regarded her with quiet amusement. "You think money is everything. It's not everything," she corrected. "But it's close. It opens doors. It earns respect. Without it, people just see you as, well, a guy stranded on the street with a broken car." Before Keanu could respond, a sleek black limousine pulled up beside them. The driver hurried out, opening the door for a sharply dressed man with an air of dominance and power. He was instantly recognizable, one of the richest men in America, a billionaire investor named Robert Langford. Keanu, Robert called out, striding forward with a beaming smile. It's been too long. What are you doing in a place like this? Keanu chuckled. Just car troubles. Nothing serious. Robert clapped a hand on Keanu's shoulder. Man, you should have called me. I would have sent a chopper. You're a legend, my friend. We have so much to catch up on. Let's get dinner at my place. You have to come. Eleanor's eyes widened in sheer disbelief. Her face, which had been filled with skepticism and mild disdain just moments ago, transformed into shock and regret. Wait, you know him? She blurted out, her confidence faltering. Robert turned to her, glancing at her briefly before laughing. Of course. Keanu's a genius, a philosopher, and one of the most respectable men I know. If you have the chance to sit with him, you better listen. Elena swallowed hard, suddenly feeling the weight of her earlier words. Keanu had remained humble, kind, and unbothered by her judgment. And now, standing before her, was proof that his values and choices in life had earned the respect of even the wealthiest elite. She took a step closer, her voice softer. Keanu, maybe I misjudged you. Keanu only smiled, his eyes warm but unreadable. It happens. He glanced at Robert. Dinner sounds great. Let's go. As he walked away with Robert, Elena stood frozen in place, watching them disappear into the luxurious car. Regret twisted in her chest. She had been too quick to judge, too blinded by materialism to see what truly mattered. Later that evening, Elena arrived at the town's most prestigious restaurant, expecting to see Keanu dining alongside his wealthy friend. She had dressed impeccably, determined to make amends. However, upon scanning the dining area, she only saw Keanu sitting alone at a quiet table in the corner. No lavish company, no billionaire associates. Smirking to herself, she approached. So, I guess your rich friend ditched you after all. Keanu looked up from his meal and smiled. Robert had business to take care of. He offered me his private dining suite, but I prefer a simple meal down here. Elena scoffed. You're really something else. You had the chance to sit with the elite and you chose. This, Keanu chuckled. I enjoy good food and quiet moments. That's enough for me. Elena rolled her eyes. Well, you're certainly missing out. Just then, a waiter carrying a tray accidentally brushed against Elena, spilling a small amount of water on her expensive shoes. She gasped in outrage. Are you kidding me? Do you have any idea how much these cost? The young waiter turned pale. I'm so sorry, miss. It was an accident. Accident or not, you should be fired, she snapped, turning to the restaurant manager. I don't want to see this incompetent fool working here again. The waiter looked stricken, pleading, Please, ma'am, I need this job. Keanu, who had been watching the exchange, suddenly stood up and walked over. His voice was calm, but firm. That won't be necessary. Elena turned to him, frustrated. Keanu, stay out of this. He ruined my shoes. Keanu shook his head. He made a mistake. You, on the other hand, are showing who you truly are. He turned to the restaurant manager. I think it's best if you don't serve her here anymore. People who mistreat others over something so small don't belong in a place like this. A murmur of agreement swept through the restaurant. The manager nodded, stepping forward. Miss, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Eleanor's face turned red with embarrassment. Are you serious? Do you know who I am? Keanu gave her a calm, knowing look. We do. And that's why you should go. The entire restaurant watched as Elena, humiliated, stormed out. The young waiter turned to Keanu, eyes filled with gratitude. Thank you, sir. You didn't have to do that. Keanu smiled warmly. Kindness costs nothing. Don't let people like that bring you down. As Keanu returned to his meal, the restaurant filled with hushed admiration. That night, it was clear to everyone present true greatness didn't come from wealth or power, but from humility and integrity.